welcome to the BEwell. Okay, so today's title is Thriving as a Purpose-Driven Entrepreneur in an AI Era. Okay, so there's a lot to dissect there, a lot to unravel, like, purpose-driven entrepreneur and in the AI era. So today we have Arnela Karat, an authentic niche coach. So who is Arnela Karat? Let me introduce her. Arnela Karat is a trailblazing authentic niche coach and mentor who helps purpose-driven entrepreneurs and coaches to uncover their authentic niche, define their ideal clients, and craft magnetic marketing messages. With over a decade of experience in leadership, marketing, sales, and brand management, and a unique ability to uncover hidden gifts and opportunities, she combines expertise with spirituality, intuition, the law of attraction, and AI to help and empower clients achieve clarity, confidence, and impactful results. Arnela, thank you for being here with us. We're going to have a talk today. This is the BEwell talk. So we're going to talk, like many of the conversations I've had with other coaches, expertise, mentors, and so on, to actually bring light into this topic. We're going to talk about purpose-driven entrepreneur and in an AI era. So maybe we can start off and tell us a little bit, how did you come to where you are to be this authentic niche coach? Tell us a little bit about your story.
So first of all, thank you, Gary, for inviting me to your podcast, BEwell. I'm really pleased to be here with you and to share my insights on today's topic. And so to answer your question, how did I become authentic niche coach? Well, it was an interesting journey where I learned from my past failures and also experience that what didn't work for me previously when I was first in my 9-to-5 jobs, why I couldn't stay there. And I was finding out that as much as I wanted to create positive impact in the world, either through volunteering for over a decade, either through my jobs in private sector or political sector. Yeah, when I was active in European Parliament, I understood that in politics, I understood that I was not having any kind of impact. In politics, you are just a little drop in the ocean and you cannot create anything there. You cannot impact people's life, what was my intention. And I always had that urge, to help people and just to guide them to have better quality of life, to use their potential. And I would easily recognize, even in the past, that from when I would, during the conversation, when I would talk with someone, I would easily recognize, okay, they have this potential, they can go in this direction, they can pursue this career. But for me, it was a struggle. I couldn't understand what was my life purpose. And until 2 years ago, when I was working in European Parliament, and one day it hit me in the office, out of nowhere, it was just, Arnela, you are not creating any kind of positive impact from here. And that was a wake-up call for me that I need to pursue my life purpose, what I meant for. But somehow everything was a struggle. I wanted to go on my own journey, start my own business, but it was such a struggle because I knew I have a lot of knowledge, but I didn't know how to combine everything together. And so that year I decided I will start my own business. And then when I started my own business, I was struggling to find my niche. And what I thought that will be my niche, after a month or so, I realized, no, this is not it. Something is missing.
What was your niche at the beginning? What did you go for at the beginning?
So I went for a life purpose and business coach and mentor, and I aim to help professional working women to find their life purpose and turn it into a business idea. And it just didn't work out because
why didn't it work out? What were the lessons that you learned from that?
Yeah, so actually, I went all in with my marketing, and I said, okay, I will share my journey. I will do this, like everyone else is doing. And then I started sharing my journey, but I understood, why am I attracting wrong people? Something is off, and it didn't make sense at that time. And
so you say you were attracting the wrong people. You mean they were not in line with the purpose that you were trying to resolve? Is that what it was?
Yeah, so I was attracting the wrong people in sense they were not aligned with what I intended to do, because my marketing was focused on the wrong journey of those clients. I mean, the marketing was focused on on the part of their journey, which is prior the realization that they need to find life purpose and turn it into a business idea. So the journey which they were on, it was off. I mean, it was not aligned with what I was intending to do.
Right.
And therefore, when I joined the coaching community, I started coaching coaches there, and I realized this is what I want to do because this is what I'm really good at. And what was the difference? What I realized was that coaches already knew what they want to do. They had that business idea. They knew what is their purpose, but they were lacking the part, how to turn it successfully into a business idea, how to find that authentic niche, how to define their ideal client. So I learned from my failure, from my previous niche. When I failed, I learned from that, and then I applied it into the current niche. And
so how did you come to this ikigai? I mean, I know the ikigai is your purpose, life, and so on. How did you stumble upon that, or how did you come to that point?
Yeah, so actually, my first, let me say, first time when I heard about ikigai, it was during pandemic, because that was a period I believe that entire humanity was, having a wake-up call. Okay, what are you going to do with your life? Because if you come again to lockdown, what is your purpose? What are you going to do with your life if you stay at home forever? And that was a wake-up call. So I started searching a lot on internet, how to find your life purpose, how to start a business, and all that kind of things. And I came across Ikigai workshop, and I saw there, okay, this might be something useful. And it was a really interesting concept to me because it highlights very important parts of your life, of who you are, and also what does market demand as well. So what does the world need, and how can you contribute to that? And that was really something what gave me insights. What could I be doing in my life?
So the ikigai in a very brief description is what? Finding your talent, making it. Tell us a little bit about the ikigai.
Yeah, so actually ikigai is Japanese concept, and it means reason for being. And what I was referring at was ikigai Venn diagram, which is consisted of 4 main areas. And one of them is what do you love to do? The other one is what you're good at. The third one is what does the world need? And the last one is the what can you be paid for? And when all those 4 main areas cross, you get the intersection, which is called ikigai, and that's your reason for being, because it combines all the areas and gives you the insight. Okay, this is your reason for being. Because sometimes we think that our purpose, reason for being, is something so outside of what we think is actually, but it's everything we already are. How to put
So
it?
you said talent. You said what the world needs. You said something that could be monetized, let's say. So you get that. And the fourth one was, what was the fourth one?
Yeah, so the first one is the passion. What do you love to do? Your passions. And the second one is the skills and strengths. So skills and strengths come from what you already are doing, what you have been, all the experience you gained through your entire career, through your life. And the third one, what does the world need, is just talking about, it doesn't necessarily mean globally, but you can look in your local environment. What do you see that your community needs? Because when we talk about what does the world need, it's such a big topic, and then we start going maybe too broad and we cannot see the real problem. But you can start with your local environment and look what is missing there. So when you
did the ikigai diagram, what was your passion? What did you find out that was the passion?
Yeah, so my passion was always helping people, and this is the thing that some things which you think, for example, helping people, that can be your passion, but it can be also your skill. So it can be in 2 parts of your ikigai Venn diagram, and that's totally okay, because more often it appears in your Venn diagram, it means even it's stronger. So this is really like something you need to pursue in your life. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, trying to understand your talent, trying to understand your passion. Sometimes people say, I'm very passionate about music. And then you say, well, what talent do you have? I mean, you got to find that purpose in life and what the world needs. There are a lot of very, what you want, what the world needs, putting that together to be able to actually make an offer that someone would actually take up and you can monetize. So listen, tell us a little bit about the Ikigai GPT, talking about technology, AI, artificial intelligence, and so on. What is this? This is something that you created, an Ikigai GPT. What is that? And what does GPT
Yeah.
stand for? Maybe people don't know what's a GPT.
Yeah, so GPT is actually, it's a made, how to put it? It's created with the help of Chat OpenAI. And there you can create your own GPTs. So it's like, that's a little bit.
Is it like a personal prompts GPT?
It's not really a prompt, but you create like a tool.
Yeah.
How could I explain this?
Hmm.
You have, when you go to ChatGPT, so you have there like a lot of GPTs available you can explore. You have, it's like a store, and you can explore any kind of different kind of GPTs. So I was thinking, okay, this Ikigai Venn diagram, as much as it's very good and useful tool, it becomes sometimes when you're doing this exercise, it's challenging, overwhelming, and even frustrating. I tried to do it with my clients, and it was, so overwhelming that they were, at the end, they expected me to fulfill their Ikigai Venn diagram instead of them. So I was like, no, this is not going to happen ever again. So I decided, okay, let's make this process a little bit more easy, faster, and more fun. And I was like, okay, how could I do this, And so it just came one day, idea to me, okay, let's create the GPT. And so I went there on ChatGPT. I decided to create my own. I gave it a prompt how to do it,
Right.
And so my Ikigai GPT will ask you approximately 12 to 15 questions. And the more detailed answer you give to it, the better the result will be, because AI will analyze the answers you will give it, but cannot give you any kind of answer, proper answer, which will resonate with you if you give vague answers when it asks you the questions.
Yeah. Well, we're going in that direction now where the AI is able to tell us who we are. We don't even know who we are. So talking about being an authentic coach, okay, how do you find, how difficult do you find it to be actually authentic and follow your values and be yourself in this world now with so many different things coming on our plate? How are you finding you or your clients? How do you encourage them to be authentic? What do you do? What do you say? What's your approach?
Well, my approach is that we start with their story. What is your story? Why do you want to become who you want to become? And that's the start of everything. Because also from my own journey, I understood I wanted to help people with their niche. But in my previous niche, I didn't want to share about my working experience. And it was something that in the past, what happened, I didn't have that pleasant experience during my work experiences in the past. Therefore, I knew that I needed to do some healing around that. And once I did the healing part with a coach, I was able to embrace who I really was. And I noticed this also with my clients. They have the skills. For example, let's say someone was working for 20 years in accounting. They have the skills, but they don't want to use those skills. And it's just because that job brought them something painful, but until you do the healing part, you will not be able to proceed. Something will be blocking you, and you cannot be authentic and true to yourself if you are trying to deny your past experience and who you are, because it's like denying your own existence. And that's just not the way how we can live. We just need to heal that part. Sometimes, when we feel something unpleasant, we will suppress those feelings instead of express them, feel them, let them go, and then we can continue life. But if you are suppressing something inside, it means that it's just a wound which needs healing. And until you heal that, it's really hard to be authentic because something is off all the time. And so I try to guide also my clients in that direction as well.
So if someone doesn't want to continue their 20 years of experience as an accountant or as a lawyer, is that because they're hurting, they don't want to continue that that experience, or because they want to grow, they want to go into a new dimension? What happens there if someone wants to completely change? They don't want to do their past, but they want to do something new because they want to grow, they want to be challenged. What happens there? What do you say to them?
Well, that's the part where they will struggle, because they have the potential. You have the knowledge of, 20 years, you will gain an experience, for example, as a lawyer, and then you want just to forget everything you know about it. You know about those people, you know about what they need, you know about their struggles, because those were your struggles as well. Why would you forget that huge potential which you have in that market, instead of trying to embrace it,
Right.
Embrace who you are, embrace your experience, because that's what makes you authentic. That's who you are. That brought you to the journey where you are right now. Because if you wouldn't,
So do you talk to your clients about values, about their core values, about their virtues, how they see the world, how they approach the world? Do you do that kind of a session as well?
Yeah, we discuss also about the values as well, because it's a very important part. At least in my business is also led by my values, and my top value is health. So I will not sacrifice my health for any kind of money. And there is, this is also then what brings work-life balance. Your business needs to be aligned with your values, and your values are also something what makes you authentic.
So you need to know. Actually, I had a conversation the other day with my son. We were talking about my values. He asked me, what are my values? Because he's studying psychology in London. And I said, I thought about it. And usually when someone says, what are your values? You give your normal values like this. And I thought, oh, it just got me there. And I said, justice, loyalty, and what was the other one? Curiosity or something like that. I think, if I remember, it was like, and I put down justice because I feel like sometimes, when people are unfairly treated, I feel really a lot of pain, because I don't want that to happen. So that's a value that I hold very high. A loyalty, I think, is it's a little bit like integrity. I think if people say something, they need to, if they make a promise, they should hold their promise. And today's world, people are very flimsy. They say things, they do it, they don't do it. And so the word loyalty in a relationship, in a friendship, in the words that you say are very important. And then the last one I said was, I think as an entrepreneur, I had to be very curious. You have to be curious, because curiosity, risk-taking are all part of being an entrepreneur. So listen, let's go on to a little bit about how, so you're using AI in your coaching. You said you're using AI as an Ikigai GPT tool. So are you using AI in other aspects of your coaching or not?
Well, during the session with the client, not really, but I might give them some prompts if I would think that they need them. So regarding, a prompt for marketing, prompt for ideal client, to get the better picture, to create that ideal client persona. So in that sense, and I use
you give your client entrepreneurs prompts for them to go and do homework on that. Is that what you're saying? Like doing research, doing what? No.
No. So the first part we do together. We do during the session. We develop the ideal client. We see about what do they need to focus regarding the journey. But in case if the client is working with me, if they buy my VIP day program, then in that case they get a little bit more support regarding that. And so after the VIP day, they can I give them the prompts how to use AI properly, how it can help them. So for more detailed research and getting that avatar made, and for example for content calendar, for creating marketing and all these kind of things.
And so are today's entrepreneurs open to this, to using AI? And yeah. And what about the Ikigai? How do your clients approach this Ikigai, purpose of living? How do they approach? How do you get them to align? I mean, do you sort of are they able to use this Ikigai as a framework for their existence?
Yeah, so Ikigai GPT, they can use prior hour session, and I highly recommend it to everyone who has, for example, many certificates and many passions. because it really helps you to narrow down and show the focus. What is your reason for being? So in which direction you need to go. You get more clarity, more insights about who you are. Because I noticed with the clients who have so many certifications, they just don't know where to focus on. They think that they need everything to combine, but there is always something in common to all the things they have. Either regarding certificates or their work experience, their skills, strengths, and passions. So usually there is something in common, and AI helps them to find that focus because it analyzes all the answers they give in the background, and that makes the work so much easier. Otherwise, if they would be doing manually that exercise, it would take them a lot of time.
I was going to ask you that. Talking about purpose-driven entrepreneurs, purpose-driven professionals, how can they use AI to not to become more authentic, but actually to know what being authentic means? How can they use AI? What can they do to use that? Or to be creative, to be authentic, to know themselves? What can they do?
Well, actually, AI cannot make you authentic. So you need to be authentic first, but you can use AI to speed your productivity, creativity, to be inspired, to get ideas in case you run out of ideas. And that's the way how you can use it ethically. So not, to say to ChatGPT, hey, write my today's post about this, and that's it. And you just copy paste it and you post it on your social media. That's not the way how purpose-driven entrepreneurs would do. You would give ChatGPT your own insights, your own ideas, and then you can say, please edit, improve the flow of my post, recommend me what can I improve, how does it sound, give me the feedback, is there anything missing in my post, is it clear, what is the call to action, and that kind of things. So it can help you improve things rather than do things instead of you.
You know what? And then I find it very difficult. We're talking of being authentic, but I mean, what is really being authentic? Seriously, what is it? What does it mean to be authentic?
Well, authenticity to me personally means that I embrace all I am. So my skills, my passions, my past experience, my intuition, my soul guidance, everything who I am. And
also your weaknesses and
as well. My weaknesses, my pains, my lessons, my values, everything. That's what makes me authentic.
I'm just looking here because I put an article on LinkedIn about why does being authentic feel so hard. I don't know if you saw this or not, and it was me sharing a little bit about myself. The boundaries, setting boundaries, afraid of rocking the boat. So when people say things, you let it slide because you don't really want to cause a friction. And I was just reading about that. But I found as well, when I was authentic and I put this guard down, this shield of mine, and said, okay, I have I'm not perfect. These are my limitations. I found that people were coming to me because they felt like I could be someone really, not the jacket and tie and suit and the entrepreneur, but I was just a person inside, just like them. So is that what being authentic is? Showing your vulnerable side? Is that being authentic?
Well, you mentioned also a part about setting the boundaries, and one more thing you mentioned that you also
yeah, it's about sharing my boundaries and not rocking the boat. Not when people say things that don't align with the way you are, the values. You just say, well, I'll let it go until you. Has that ever happened to you or your clients where they've accepted things even though they've gone against their authentic side?
Well, actually, I have been in a situation when someone wanted to hire me, but I saw that that person was not aligned with my values, and I had to reject that person because that's what means authentic to me. I will follow who I am, and also I want my clients to be aligned with who I am. So I cannot serve someone who is not aligned with my values because we will clash. we will not share the same opinion. And if you are authentic, it means that you will also attract those clients who will resonate with you. And also sharing your imperfections, because no one is perfect. And we are so afraid of that, saying that so loud, you know, we are not perfect. I mean, no one is perfect. There is no such thing as perfection. It's just an illusion. We can never be perfect. We are here to learn and to grow. And that's what is our purpose, learning and growing.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I think that there's a call sometimes when there's you have to be really authentic, and it's scary. It's like you showing yourself, and at that point you're very sort of like vulnerable. People can attack you, people can ridicule you, laugh at you, or whatever. But you have to overcome that to actually be your true self, right?
But let me ask you, do you think that people can attack you if you have boundaries?
But I think when you open your soul, when you lay yourself open, the boundaries are not there at that time, because you've let your guard down. And so you've come out into the open, whether you're making a declaration of your sexuality or whatever you've done, you've come out. And then at that point, it's very difficult to have boundary lines straight away, because you've actually just come out. I think your boundary lines are when you're able to put that later on, when you get a little bit stronger in that position, or not.
Well, it depends. You know, you mentioned sharing about your sexuality and these things. I believe it depends about which part of to what we are referring that authenticity. Either it is to professional world or to personal. Because if we would, for example, we go now on LinkedIn and share about our sexuality, I don't think that would be appropriate. And I think that's not even authentic anymore. It's oversharing, and that has crossed the limit of being authentic, I believe. Because as an authentic person, you need to set some sort of boundaries, even if you want to share as much as you want about yourself, but still you need to have that healthy line, what I can share and what is not appropriate to given circumstances. That's how I see it.
Do you find that you're talking about private life, you're talking about professional life, you're making a distinction? Is there a distinction, or are we just one? You being authentic in life, in private life, and being authentic in professional. Shouldn't it be the same?
Yeah, it should be. I mean, for example, let's give it as an example. You know, if you want to be a very intuitive person, and you can be intuitive in your personal life and in your professional life, and that's totally fine. But some things I believe need to be separated. For example, as we talked about this sexuality, but still, it depends on what niche you are in. For example, if you are fighting for the rights for LGBTQ plus rights, I believe that's totally fine if you then share your views, because otherwise, how will other people from who are also in that group, how will they resonate with you if you don't share about yourself? It's a little bit more challenging, I believe.
No, because nowadays we read on LinkedIn and different posts about the need for leaders to show vulnerability. I don't know. I've seen some of those posts, and the leader has to show vulnerability. What is that? Are we talking about being authentic? Are we talking about vulnerability? Are we showing compassion? What is a leader doing in that situation?
I believe that's already creating so much confusion then, because I see sometimes also on LinkedIn, you know, people are sharing private photos, for example, weddings and children and all that kind of things, which I don't think it's appropriate for LinkedIn. I know that you want to be authentic and show who you are in your personal life, but sometimes I think some things needs to be separated. If you want to be an expert in your area, show your expertise. But if you want to show your personal life, I think it's better place if you go on your personal Facebook profile and share it there, if you already have need for that, you know. But being vulnerable, I mean, we all have some sort of ups and downs, and we need to, I mean, we can express those ups and downs, that's totally fine, but it's not necessary to share now, I don't know, about your breakup with the partner on LinkedIn. unless you are talking in dating niche, if your niche is dating niche. So you need to find the appropriate place to share your vulnerability and all these kind of things.
We're talking a little bit about being aware, being a bit self-aware of yourself on the boundary lines and what you can communicate or what you should communicate, what is correct, what is ethically correct, or what is professionally correct, and so on. So how important is self-awareness for your purpose, finding your purpose, your ikigai? How important is self-awareness in that approach?
Well, actually, that's the most important part of everything, because if you don't have that self-awareness that you need to pursue your purpose, you will never pursue it. You will keep living on autopilot, going to your job every day is the same. You will be living, but you will not be knowing what are you living for. And you will not be expressing yourself for the purpose you were meant to express. And in my case, that self-awareness came when I was sitting in that office of European Parliament. When it hit me, that was the biggest wake-up call for me. Okay, you need to change something. You cannot continue living like that anymore. Because also in my previous jobs, I was struggling a lot. I'm a person who has many ideas, and those ideas were not often heard by my employers, and I was struggling a lot. I was feeling some sort of anger all the time inside me because I couldn't express myself. And I didn't understand what was going on at that time with me. But later, it was at the end of 2023 when I found out that it was about my human design type. So human design is another pseudo-science, pseudo-scientific.
Your human design, the way your DNA, are you talking about the DNA? You're talking about, what are you talking about, the human design? Or...
No, we are talking about what makes you you. So human design is actually combined of many different fields like astrology. Then you have many different components define human design. But when I understood my human design type, and there are 5 human design types, one is manifestor, generator, manifesting generator, projector, and reflector. And for manifestors, it's significant that if they're not living their true nature, who they are, they will start feeling that anger. And I was not understanding why I was feeling all that anger in my previous jobs. But when I understood that it was just because of that, I was not able to express myself. And as a manifestor, I'm someone who produces many ideas, and I can work deeply for short amounts of time. And after that, I need deep rest. Otherwise, I will get sick. And I didn't understand why was that happening in the past until I discovered about human design. And that was the biggest wake-up call and awareness which I got. Okay, this is what's going on. This is why I couldn't, previously succeed as I wanted. And I understand that my only path I see possible is becoming an entrepreneur. So I can be someone who expresses myself fully. And also I can implement my own ideas and work and live as I desire and as it's meant and easy for me.
Yeah. So, I mean, going back to the word authentic, I find that sometimes being authentic is put to one side because you need to be accepted into a group, into an office space. And so being your authentic self is sacrificed to be accepted. How do you deal with that when your clients come to you and say that, and you say, be authentic and so on, but being authentic can also ostracize you, can actually put you out of the circle? What do you say to someone who feels that they're sacrificing their real self to be accepted?
Well, actually, my clients, when they come for finding their authentic niche, they already want to pursue their own path. So they're not staying in environments, in other jobs, working for other people. So they're pursuing their own entrepreneurial path. But it's not something that you can force, to become authentic. But it just comes from talking about yourself, who you are, and admitting and embracing who you are. And that's how you can become authentic. And it's interesting, when I see with my clients, when they realize how impactful is their story, which they want to share with the world, and when they realize that they have gifts and what opportunities are out there available for them, it's just, those moments, how they become confident then, when they embrace that authenticity, because that's who they are.
But however, to share that inner self, they need to overcome fear of judgment, fear of rejection, and so on, or not. I mean, you have your story, but it's maybe even a painful story. And not everyone wants to share that story, but that's the real story that will make the difference. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, exactly. That's the real story, which will make difference. But also when I talk to my clients, if I see that they're still not at the right point where they can start working with other clients, because if someone hasn't done proper work on themselves, then you cannot, start helping someone else, because you still have that pain and struggle. If you didn't overcome and worked on that, then every time you will work with your own client, it will trigger you. So if it will be triggering you, you will not be enjoying your work either. You need to do healing on yourself and know what you want to share with your clients. You need to have some sort of story behind yourself. Once I had someone who wanted to work with me, and they were just at the beginning of their transformational journey, and they didn't do the proper work at that point, and I just declined the option, to working with them, because they were not ready. And if you are not at that point, I cannot help you. You need to do your own work, or hire another coach who can help you overcome that. And once you're ready, then we can work from there on finding your authentic niche and sharing your story.
So the people who come to you, the coaches, they've come to you because they've dealt with their past, or they've actually approached their past. Is that right? Whether they're
Yes.
healed, or at least they've come to terms with their past. And once they come to you at that point, then you take them on to the next. Is that right?
Yes, exactly. Once they have dealt with their past, they had overcome some challenge in their life, they learned the lesson from it, then we can go from there on and start talking about authentic niche.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are trying to be coaches out there, because now the word coach is overused. Everyone's a coach. The thing is, if you haven't worked on yourself, you're actually doing more damage, because you're leading people, you're leading people to somewhere where you haven't dealt with your past, your demons. So you have to be a little bit, people who are watching this video, if they're watching this video, if you're going to be a coach, you want to be a coach, first work on all your flaws, if there are any flaws, and then once you've done that, then you know where to go, in which direction to go. Talk to us a little bit about AI. People are afraid of AI because now everyone's talking about AI, like, it's a tool, but people are afraid of it. Should we be afraid of it? Should we embrace it? What's your suggestion for our love with AI?
Well, I must say that I'm AI enthusiast, and I really love seeing AI developing so fast, because it is also helping us. And I believe there's nothing to fear about, but most often those fears apply to the parts, that AI will take people's jobs and all that kind of things.
Yeah.
But I don't believe in that, because AI cannot work well if you don't give it proper prompts. And also there is some space now, thanks to AI, for a new jobs in prompt engineering. So
Yeah.
people are learning how to write proper prompts for AI. And I believe there is a lot of potential in AI. How can it help us, especially as solopreneurs, when we are at the beginning of our journey, and you need to handle all kind of different operations in your business, from marketing, sales, I don't know, writing up a script for your client or something, anything actually, or even analyzing some data, on, for example,
Yeah.
how is your profile on social media performing? You can use AI for everything. You just need to prompt it correctly, and it will give you the results. And today there is so many platforms available. And recently I discovered one new, which I find even better than ChatGPT. It's called deepseek.com, and it's really cool.
Deep seat.
Seek. It's Seek.
SEEK. SEEK. Seek.
Yeah. DEEPSEEK.com.
Wow. I know there was Gemini. Then there
Yes.
was, I think there's also Microsoft. Is it? There've been a
Copilot.
few. Yeah, there've been a few around. So you're talking about now DeepSeek.com.
Yeah.
So what, to be an entrepreneur today, to be a successful
Mhm.
entrepreneur today, what do you think we should embrace? What are some of the things that someone watching this video would say, okay, right, I want to be a successful entrepreneur. I'm going to go with that. What would you say?
Well, I would suggest first understand why do you want to become an entrepreneur? What is that you want to create? Who do you want to help? And how do you want to help them? You need to first understand all of these things. And if you have knowledge, if you have skills, if you have passion for that, for solving those problems, go for it. Because I always tell also my clients, if you have a gift, you are given that gift for a reason. And if you have a gift, you also have your ideal clients out there for you, waiting for you to be discovered. Otherwise, you wouldn't be given that gift. So this is something what every aspiring entrepreneur needs to consider. But also, if you want to be successful, tap into your inner self. Really try to be as authentic as possible and honest with yourself. Why do you want to do what you want to do? And listen to your inner guidance. I believe in inner guidance more than even sometimes, what is coming from the outside. Because I also experienced that when I was working on my previous niche. And I was listening to so many business coaches out there. And one day I just heard that message, it was, Arnela, silence everything, listen to me. Answers are within you. And it was so clear. And I stopped listening to all the coaches, all the advices out there, and listening to my guidance. And that's where the transformations happened.
When you say the inner guidance, are we talking about, what are we, a gut feeling, intuition? What are we talking about?
Yeah, intuition, yeah. Gut feeling, yeah. Oh, sometimes we refer to intuition also as a gut feeling, because it comes from that area around our stomach. So that's where the intuition starts to speak to you, but your intuition can speak to you in different ways. You can hear it also, you can feel it, you can see it, you can just know it. You can smell it, taste it. It really depends on which abilities do you have developed, but you can still work on developing to them. But when you hear that message, listen to it, don't ignore it, because there is something important for you to listen to it.
So what are the shifts, the triggers, the situations that bring clients to you? Why would a client come to you? Where would they be in their life situation, and they would reach out to you? What situation would they find themselves in?
Well, they would be either at the beginning of their journey as an entrepreneur or coach. So they're looking for their niche, trying to define their ideal client, or they would be someone who is already on the market, doing the marketing part and everything, but they're not attracting clients because they are missing some parts regarding the definition of ideal client and their niche. And their message is usually too vague, and they attract all sorts of clients, but nothing makes sense. And also then they don't have proper offer for the clients as well.
And so if someone wants to reach out to you, where would they find you, Arnela? Where would someone find you?
Well, the best way to reach out to me is on LinkedIn. I'm very active there. But also now, very soon, I will start my YouTube channel, Unapologetically Authentic with Arnela Karat. And there they will be able to consume also content around authenticity and purpose-driven business as well.
Okay, and so if someone wants to contact you, is there like do you give like a first session, half an hour, an discovery call or something like that someone could before they actually enroll on coaching or on your courses? Is there a first step?
Actually, no, I cut all of those free calls in my business model because I don't believe they align with me. But if someone wants to work with me, they can reach out to me on LinkedIn, or they can also get access to my Ikigai GPT. And when they get their results, after that, they can contact me and book the call, and we can work from there on if they will feel guided to working with me.
Okay. We've known each other for 6 months, I think, or something like this. I think you've come on some other BEwell talks. So
I believe 4 months, something like that. 4 months.
maybe 4 months.
Yeah.
We've known each other. So talking about the BEwell a little bit, what have you seen is in the BEwell? I mean, this is a platform which I use just to share with other people your expertise. I bring the space, and we help other people grow, reach out to you, reach out to the other coaches. What have you seen in this BEwell? I mean, what's your take of this?
Well, I love this space because it really gives the business owners and entrepreneurs something deeper than just business guidance. And it dives deeper in personal growth, also spiritual growth. And also for example, today we discussed about AI, how it can help us. And I believe this space is really good for everyone who wants to be fulfilled in their business, be fulfilled as an entrepreneur, because when they hear all the advices which coaches and other experts share in your podcast episodes, they can get a lot of value from that and also apply that in their own businesses. And I must say, I attended one of your episodes about intuition, and that one inspired me so much, really, that I took immediately action on developing my own gifts further.
Brilliant. So how did you feel like coming on here and actually talking about what you're proposing, your Ikigai? How did you feel? What was the first thoughts you came in? How did you feel? How do you feel now? Give us some takeaway.
Yeah, actually, I was very excited, and pleased that you invited me to share my insights here. But it's just amazing, to be one of those who has opportunity to share their expertise in your podcast. And I'm really happy to be the part of this journey of yours and of everyone else.
Well, thank you, Arnela, for being part of the journey, because I think, having this space, and we all have a message we want to communicate. We have a talent, but we also want to make a little drop in the world. We want to make a little ripple. And so you're one of the ones that, and I do this every week, this is the BEwell journey, where this will, help other people or not, we don't know. We've had an interesting conversation. We've spoken about AI, we spoke about Ikigai, we spoke about vulnerability, boundary lines, being authentic, the niche. We've spoken about so many things in this 1 hour. So hopefully if someone watches this video, they're going to take something away from this. I'll record this, and this is being recorded and will be put on the YouTube, and I'll send you a copy of this as well. So thank you again for being with us, being here with me. And I look forward to seeing you again on the other BEwell talks. If not, we'll cross paths somewhere else. Thank you again.
Of course. Thank you so much for inviting me, and I'm looking forward to speaking soon, maybe again. Thank you so much.
Okay, Arnela, thank you very much. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.